Hello, future chemists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the heart of molecular structure. Today, we are diving deep into hybridization, a concept that unlocks the secrets behind why molecules have their specific shapes. From basic definitions to advanced theories, we'll explore this topic across 4 levels of complexity, preparing you thoroughly for your G-Main exam. Let's begin. Ready to uncover the basic building blocks of molecular shapes? Let's start with the easy level of hybridization. What exactly is hybridization? Imagine mixing different ingredients to create something new and better. In chemistry, it's the mixing of atomic orbitals, like s, p, or even d orbitals, to form a new set of identical, more effective hybrid orbitals. These new orbitals are perfectly suited for forming strong, stable chemical bonds. Think of it as a molecular makeover for better bonding. Why do atoms go through this process? Well, sometimes, simple orbital overlap can't explain the shapes we observe. Take methane, CH4, for instance. Carbon has 1s and 3p orbitals, which are not identical. But all 4 CH bonds in methane are identical, and the molecule is tetrahedral. Hybridization explains this perfectly. The s and p orbitals mix to form 4 equivalent sp3 hybrid orbitals, leading to that symmetrical tetrahedral shape. This concept helps us understand common types like sp, sp2, and sp3, giving us a blueprint for molecular geometry. Now, let's test your understanding with some quick practice questions. Think about the definitions, the why, and the basic types of hybridization we just covered. These will help solidify your foundational knowledge before we move on to more complex ideas. Good luck! Alright, let's elevate our understanding. The medium level will build upon our basics, diving deeper into hybridization types and how to predict them. Recalling our previous discussion, hybridization is essential because pure atomic orbitals often cannot explain observed molecular geometries. It's a theoretical concept that allows us to understand how atoms achieve optimal bonding arrangements. By mathematically combining atomic orbitals, we get new hybrid orbitals that are degenerate, meaning they have equal energy and are perfectly oriented to form strong, stable bonds. This concept bridges the gap between simple orbital overlap and complex molecular structures. We are expanding our hybridization toolkit. Beyond sp, sp2, and sp3, we introduce sp3d and sp3d2. sp3d leads to a trigonal bipyramidal shape, like in PCl5, while sp3d2 gives us an octahedral geometry, seen in molecules like SF6. Each type corresponds to a specific number of atomic orbitals mixing and results in a distinct, predictable molecular arrangement. Understanding these types is key to visualizing molecular architecture. How do we quickly determine the hybridization of a central atom? The steric number method is your best friend. It's simply the sum of sigma bonds and lone pairs around the central atom. A steric number of 2 means sp, 3 means sp2, 4 means sp3, 5 means sp3d, and 6 means sp3d2. This simple count allows us to accurately predict the hybridization and, consequently, the approximate geometry of a wide range of molecules, from water to sulfur hexafluoride. Time to apply your knowledge. These medium-level questions will challenge you to identify hybridization types, calculate steric numbers, and relate them to molecular geometries. Remember the rules for counting sigma bonds and lone pairs. Practice makes perfect, so take your time and analyze each molecule carefully. You've got this. Ready to tackle more intricate aspects of chemical bonding? Our hard-level content will explore advanced hybridization concepts and their implications. At this level, we delve into more complex hybridization types like DsP2 for square planar geometries, often seen in transition metal complexes, and sp3d3 for pentagonal bipyramidal shapes. We also acknowledge that not all hybrid orbitals are perfectly equivalent, especially when lone pairs are present. These nuances help explain deviations from ideal bond angles, offering a more precise understanding of molecular structures. It's about moving beyond the basic ideal models. It's important to understand how hybridization and VSEPR theory complement each other. Hybridization tells us what kind of orbitals are mixing and their general orientation, essentially setting the stage for bonding. VSEPR theory then refines this by considering the repulsion between all electron pairs, both bonding and lone pairs, to predict the exact molecular geometry and bond angles. Together, they provide a powerful framework for deciphering molecular shapes, offering a complete picture of molecular structure. The percentage of S character in a hybrid orbital has profound effects on bond properties. Higher S character means electrons are held tighter, increasing the effective electronegativity of the hybrid orbital. This leads to shorter, stronger bonds and can even increase the acidity of attached hydrogen atoms, as seen in the increasing acidity from sp3 to sp hybridized CH bonds. Understanding this relationship helps us predict and explain various chemical behaviors, from bond lengths to reactivity patterns. Now, let's test your advanced understanding of hybridization. These hard-level questions will challenge you to consider complex types, the interplay between hybridization and VSEPR, and the impact of S character on molecular properties. Think critically about each scenario and apply the concepts we've discussed. You're building a strong foundation for advanced chemistry. Welcome to the ultimate challenge. The hardest level will push your understanding of hybridization to competitive depths, exploring its limitations, advanced rules, and real-world applications. While incredibly useful, hybridization theory isn't without its limits. It's a model, not a physical reality, and struggles with molecules where molecular orbital theory offers better explanations, like oxygen's paramagnetism. Furthermore, the involvement of d orbitals in hypervalent molecules, especially for heavier elements, is often debated, with alternative models sometimes offering a more accurate description. It's crucial to understand when and where hybridization is most applicable and when other theories might be more insightful. Ben's rule provides a sophisticated refinement to hybridization. It states that orbitals with more S character prefer to bond with more electropositive atoms or house lone pairs, while those with more P character bond with more electronegative atoms. This explains the subtle deviations from ideal bond angles, such as why the HCH angle in CH to F2 is larger than the FCF angle. This rule helps us understand the fine-tuning of molecular geometries based on the electronegativity of substituents and the presence of lone pairs. Hybridization is fundamental to understanding transition metal complexes. Strong field ligands can force electron pairing, making inner d orbitals available for hybridization, leading to D2sp3 octahedral or DsP2 square planar complexes, often low spin. Weak field ligands, however, use outer d orbitals, resulting in sp3d2 octahedral high spin complexes. This distinction is vital for predicting magnetic properties and reactivity. Moreover, hybridization directly influences acidity and basicity, with increased S character enhancing CH acidity and lone pair availability affecting amine basicity. Beyond basic molecules, hybridization helps us analyze complex and hypervalent species like XCF2, XCF4, and I3. For these, we apply the steric number method, recognizing the central atom expands its octet, typically involving d orbitals. We determine their sp3d or sp3d2 hybridization, and then use VSEPR to predict their actual linear or square planar geometries. These examples demonstrate the robust predictive power of hybridization, even in seemingly unusual chemical structures, linking theory to observable molecular architecture. All right, it's time for the ultimate test of your hybridization knowledge. These first 5 hardest level questions will challenge you with complex molecules, theoretical nuances, and applications of advanced rules. Take your time, apply Ben's rule, consider limitations, and think deeply about the implications of hybridization. You've learned a lot, now show what you can do. Let's continue with the remaining 5 hardest level questions. These problems will further push your analytical skills, asking you to connect hybridization with properties like acidity and analyze specific transition metal complexes and hypervalent compounds. Remember to integrate all the concepts we've covered, from steric number to Ben's rule. Success in these questions means you've truly mastered hybridization. Congratulations on completing this in-depth exploration of hybridization. We've journeyed from basic definitions to advanced applications, equipping you with comprehensive knowledge for GME. For more such detailed educational content and to track your learning progress, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting chemistry lessons. Keep learning, keep growing.